Here's a thought on chapter 20, where Abraham, of course, was given the promise of God, was sealed of God to be a great nation. But Abraham didn't mean he was the most spiritual guy in the world, didn't have the greatest of spiritual discernment. In fact, had very little, but then accused other folks who God spoke with also. He basically put in their face the thought that, well, I thought God only speaks to me. And the reason why I bring this up is because a lot of folks do this in real life. And on YouTube, folks seem to think, hey, God showed me this and you don't understand it. And look, I'm more spiritual than you. And, that don't impress God. So, it's a challenge for every one of us to avoid that kind of thinking. But check this out. God spoke to Abimelech in a dream. Abraham was practicing deception in every place he went. But he was basically kind of telling the truth. That is, it was his sister, but it was with the intent to deceive. Well, anyway, then God speaks to Abimelech, and then Abimelech ends up, confronting Abraham and said to him, "What hast thou done unto us? And what have I offended thee, that thou hast brought on me and on my kingdom a great sin? Thou hast done deeds unto me that ought not to be done." And Abimelech said unto Abraham, "What sawest thou, and that thou hast done this thing?" And Abraham said, "Because I thought, surely the fear of God is not in this place. They will slay me for my wife's sake." Well, actually, they kept you alive for your wife's sake. And the fear of God was not in Abraham. He casts that in their teeth, saying that, I thought the fear of God was not in this place, but yet God spoke to these folks, and God spoke to Abraham too, but Abraham wasn't listening, and Abraham had pride and thought, no, I'll take care of this. Like, basically, God doesn't know what he's doing, so I've got to say that she's my sister and help preserve myself so they don't kill me, because I don't really believe that God's going to preserve me and make a great nation of me. Because of course, how would that happen if Abraham were dead?